This is a real tournament right here, top 4. We're playing. What's going on, guys? Rockley AC here. I am at the Puna residence. We're here having our ARG Christmas holiday event.
Christmas is over.
Christmas is over, but Valentine's is coming soon. So it's that weird time in between time, you know? So people are like kind of weirded out. But we're here at Puna's house. We're having the official ARG sanctioned tournament. I'm just kidding. Unofficial. Yeah, that's right. You heard it from Ian. And we're out here. We're going to be playing 3 or 4 rounds. We're going to be giving out a playmat for top 8. Or play mats for top 8s. And we're also going to be giving out other prizes too. We're giving out TP packs. Playmat also for first place. And we got the Christmas holiday playmats as well. We have most of our play group over here play testing. Everyone's playing Storm today, especially this guy. Yeah, basically we're gonna have a good time. It's just one of those like nice holiday events that we're gonna have. Not everybody can make those events, so our group decided to pitch in and buy the ARG kits. Having one of those today, and it's gonna be fun. So we're gonna update you guys throughout the event. So it's gonna be a fun time. I'm not sure how much footage I'll have today because we're gonna be going in between rounds. We're probably gonna be playing like Super Smash Bros. Later and stuff. But basically, it's just nice like chill day before the new set releases. So Clash of Fates releases next week. So we're going to be doing deck profiles. A lot of these guys that you see behind me will be doing deck profiles on as well. So you guys will be introduced to my play group. But yeah, we're going to have fun. I don't know what I'm playing today. I'm still trying to decide. Some people are running serious decks. Some people are running casual decks. Some people are running like Super Smash Brothers decks. So I got to see exactly what we're going to be. Stop giving me a stare down like that. Yeah, so we'll see what goes there. But rumors has it I might be playing like a Namekian deck or something. What? Oh yeah, we'll see. In the meantime, look at this goodie over here. Right, Alfredo?
Yeah, let's play Smash.
Smash. Cats. Yes. Hey. We over here playing Eric, the champion.
Using 2 different decks in.
Alright, using different decks. Alright, I'm gonna be Kirby. Broken. What's going on, guys? Rockley AC here. I'm bringing you guys a 2-part series deck profile. 2 events that I went to in the past week. Last week being one of our local events. And the second deck profile that I'll be uploading right after this will be our ARG Playmat tournament that we hosted at one of my buddy's house. So first off, I just want to give you guys a quick rundown on a very unique deck that I piloted last week at Locals. A leader that we haven't probably seen in a very long time. It's a promo leader, and that's being Gotenks. So last Thursday I ran this deck. It's a red-green version of the promo Gotenks. I think from the box or something like that. I ended up going 2-1. I lost 2 androids the last round, round 3. Unfortunately, I only lost by like 2 life, and I couldn't deal with the barrier cards. So that was the only unfortunate event that happened last time at our locals. It was a best of 1, so again, a lot of these choices were catered to a best of 1 series. And not only that, I actually updated the this deck with like a lot of the weaknesses that I saw from last week. So I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown on the deck and give you some ideas to maybe build upon and see what you guys can come up with. All right, so the leader, real quick, for those who haven't seen this, Gotenks. When this card attacks your opponent's leader, if you have less cards in hand than your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand and places it in the drop area. The reason why I ran this is because I wanted to keep up with all the hand destruction decks out there. Gotenks allows you to almost keep up with your opponent by constantly swinging, and your opponent is most likely going to have more cards than you, especially in this format where you have like Storm, where you have androids that could awaken early and draw cards, Shenron that's getting cards off of Dragon Balls. Your opponent's most likely going to have a bigger hand size than you. Gotenks kind of mitigates that. And on top of that, it helps you keep on par, sort of, in the later game when you want to go all in, with cards like Foreseeing Hit or Combo Killer Analyza that forces your opponent to also pitch some cards. So it does really well against certain matchups, like Shenron. This basically is made to go against Shenron decks because they have such a large hand size. So you're swinging, they're losing a card, maybe a combo piece. Granted that they might pitch in something in their discard pile that they need. They could always Child Wish it back, but it forces your opponent to have less combo power when I'm going in with things like Trunks and Gohan that have crit. So basically it was essentially built for stuff like that. Very aggro. Of course, it has its weaknesses, like Crisis Son Goku, and obviously barrier cards. But anyways, on the flip side, we'll go to Gotenks' Awaken. So when you awaken him, actually, you draw 2 cards. Flip him over. Beautiful artwork here. When this card attacks your opponent's leader, if you have less cards than your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand, plays in the drop area, and then when this card attacks, draw a card. So very powerful. For those who want to get a little bit more in depth with this leader, he is a Saiyan/Earthling. So if you wanted to experiment with, let's say, like the Earthling engine with like Yamcha, you could always do that. Or if your leader's a green, you could do that. There are some cards in the original build that I thought would do great, but hard casting some high costs were really not worth it for what I was going to get in the game. So, all right. So basically, swing, they discard, and then you go attack with like your crit cards. Hopefully, you're going to be double striking them. But yeah, let's take a look real quick with the deck. We go with Shocking Death Ball, one of the best green cards that they got. Helps with Storm, helps with any type of rush deck. Negate attack, kill a 2-drop or less. That came in very handy against like the certain matchups, especially like Storm, but primarily against the early like Janemba and androids that I faced in the tournament. And then we have some combo power. I run 4 Unbreakables and 2 Villainous Cell. I only run 2. You could probably run more, but it was just there for like the color balance. Then you got your super combos. It's a 10k guaranteed, or sparking. Oh, sorry, not sparking. As long as you have 4 life, you could activate it. I run 3 double strike just because early game, you really want to try to maybe Gohan or Trunks crit and put a lot of pressure on your opponent while they're discarding cards. And then I ran 2 Sun Goten just for board removal. Green doesn't really have a lot of board removal outside of stuff like Piccolo or maybe hard casting like an Android 17. But those are solely in the game, so you want to be able to protect yourself so that you could go in mid to late with your key pieces. So I put him in there. Originally he wasn't, but it is a high cost, so it's just one of those just in case you get flooded with a board. And then your 1-drops, you got Gohan and Trunks for your crit and awakening abilities. Sometimes you're going to need to awaken so that your opponent is forced to take a 15k hand discard effect with Goten's Awaken side. But also you could also pump them up with things like Dependable Mount Bulma. Dark Power Black Max Saiyan was there against Shenron matchups. Again, this is a best of 1, so Shenron has some crazy stuff. He's there to also self-awaken just in case I can't get the Gohan or Trunks. Of course, Chain Attack, Trunks. I don't run Chain Attack Zeno in here. I mean, I could, but that wasn't really my main win condition, or at least turn of the tide. I would much rather put in stuff like Gohan or Piccolo to get constant pressure. So speaking of Gohan and Piccolo, you got Gohan crit. You're gonna most likely have less hand size than your opponent, and depending on how you combo out, you could really make some optimal plays with the draw 2. Ready Strike Piccolo is there for like a tech. He's always been one of my favorite cards, just because if your opponent doesn't have an answer next turn, they're going to have to discard their hand down to 6. And this card has definitely got a lot of people kind of like off guard. So if they don't have like removal, especially that early in the game, if they're not running any type of like spot removals, with the lack of like Mass Saiyan or Dimension Fu, there's not really too many cards that could get rid of like a 3-drop like that. So it just really throws people off guard, as well as being a nice blocker. Foreseeing Hit, he's one of your main finishers of the deck. Once you're able to constantly kill cards off your opponent's hand, maybe they might have like 2 or 3 cards more than you, but if you're going in for the kill, Foreseeing Hit is great. Just being able to get some key pieces out of there. That's how I won pretty much most of my games. Combo Killer, it was alright. It was just hard to hard cast the 4-drop when you need energy in this deck untapped. So it's really, really hard. I really wouldn't be able to tap out unless I play like a Foreseeing Hit or anything. Otherwise, you're just opening yourself up for a lot of damage. One Kami's Power Piccolo. I didn't have this in the original build, but I put it in there just for board removal. It's a nice barrier card also as well, so it just pops like annoying guys. And then on to my overall, I ran 3 Darkest Temptation Toa. This is originally the promo Vegeta card with crit. I just wanted to have constant crit, but I think this card puts a lot more pressure because it gives a 5k boost, and then they still drop a card from their hand regardless. So even if they negate Vegeta's attack, they wouldn't be able to lose a card. But with Toa, they're automatically losing a card, and they get plus 5k. And then you could swing with her as well. So she was a lot better in this manner. Because if your leader card is green or yellow, you could choose one of your cards. One of your leader cards gets plus 5k. And then Mirror to finish off. That's why I run a couple of double strikers. Mirror kind of just I hold on to towards the very end. I'm able to swing if I know that they don't have any negates in their hand, or maybe on turn 5 I play for a Seeing Hit, and then I could drop a Mirror. Different kind of plays from there. But yeah, that's basically the deck. It was really there to kind of just experiment. So if you guys really want to take this idea of constant card removal from your opponent, I think red and green are some of the best choices that you could do. You could probably splash in blue or something, or again, like I said, do a totally different engine. But I just like how Gotenks constantly, for the most part, will guarantee your opponent dropping a card from their hand. And if people are going to be running Shenron a lot in the next set 6, something kind of aggressive like this, I think people could really take advantage of and just throw people off. So let me know what you guys think. Rate, comment, and subscribe on this one. Again, there's going to be another deck profile right after this one, but let me know your thoughts on Gotenks and see what you guys brew up. I'd love to see that. So thank you guys. Peace out. What's up, guys? Rock Lee AC here. I am doing a deck profile from our ARG event that we did last Friday at one of our buddies, Puna's house. We actually hosted the Playmat event that ARG had for the holidays. Finally was able to get a chance to get together with most of our play group and play for fun. We had a 8-man tournament. I managed to go 2-1 again, losing to the eventual 3rd place winner, which was Alfredo, who ran Hiru Veggies. It was a fun event. It was pretty much, just all of us, all of our friends just chilling and, eating pizza, drinking, playing Smash, and card games. Just one of those fun Friday nights. So we had a Playmat tournament for the Holiday ARG Playmat. We also gave out a couple prizes, like tournament packs and sleeves and whatnot. And yeah, it was a great event. Puna actually won. He was running his beloved Chill deck. And yes, I said Chilled, who got 1st place. And I know there are a lot of criticisms about the Chill deck, but it depends on the pilot, right? But yeah, Puna really knows how to play Chilled, so he ran it for this event. I wanted to do something a lot more trolly, a lot more casual, so I ran a Namekian deck, Piccolo Jr. I'm not saying that it wasn't that good, but I think I was able to hold off pretty well against certain matchups. So the first round I ran against Alfredo. He was running Fruitigar and Veggies. We went to a long 3 rounds, time and a half, or yeah, time and around. And then he got me in the last turn with like a mirror double strike. So I was already attacking with a couple battle cards, and I just didn't have enough defense. And I knew once I negated that last attack prior to Mira, he casted the Mira. So yeah, it was a good game, very close. But because of the way that this deck is built, it's built to handle against the board. So a lot of multiple board presence. It could just take it out. I just wanted to run something that had constant revenge. Yadrobi and Android 16, as you guys could see in here. It's a very trolly deck. You could summon back Yadrobi with stuff like Shenron and just really force your opponent to kind of think who they want to sacrifice for that revenge if they're not able to pop it off. And it's been successful because it pushed a lot of opponents to play a little bit differently. But yeah, I ran the Piccolo Jr. Leader because I like his Awakened side. So basically, when this card attacks the leader card, draw a card. When your life is 4 or less, you may choose up to 2 your energy, switch from active mode, and flip this card over. On his Awakened side, I think this is from the starter deck, by the way. Piccolo Jr. Evil Reborn. When this card attacks, draw a card. Activate made once per turn, pay a green, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 5 or less, and KO it. Then this card gets plus 5k power during the duration turn. This card came in so clutch, or this effect came in so clutch, especially against Veggies, being able to pop their Cabo whenever I wanted to, or their Kale, any of like their big drops, especially in my other matchups. It was just very helpful. Round 2, I went against Black Mass Saiyan. I played against once, but still I didn't know how the thought process was from my opponent on how to win. But I ended up winning 2-1 there. And then round 3, unfortunately, one of our buddies, Eduardo, had to go home early. I know on a Friday night, right? Eddie, I'm calling you out on that. So that was basically a bye. So I was just playing Super Smash, as you probably saw early in the video. But I probably would have beat him, maybe, who knows? But yeah, all right, let's take a quick look at this deck profile, and yeah, let me know what you guys think afterwards. So for the negates, I ran 6 negates. You want to kind of survive towards, again, like the middle to late game. We're just putting a lot of like trolley cards, a lot of meme cards later. So you run Shock and Death Ball to go against like some aggro. And then Sacrifice is the card that I like because you can help self-awaken. Negate the attack if your leader card is the Mechian. When you activate this card's counter, you may choose one from your life, add to your hand. If you do, negate the attack, and you don't have to pay. Super combos, I'm running that Piccolo one again, so free 10k. When you have 4 life, draw a card. I also maximize on the other pseudo super combo, Infernal Villainy Cell. Also, just in case if I wanted to hard cast it, it has 20k crit. And then also when I combo with it, I could also draw a card. Sensu Beans and Pilaf. Pilaf came in really super clutch, especially against like crit effects or double strike effects. It was mainly there against like Shenron in case I faced a Shenron deck, but it was just a nice backup card nonetheless. And then Beans, of course. Beans are beans. Gohan crit. It's really what it's there for. Help self-awaken. Same thing with Awakening Talent Pan. She was there to swing 15k, come back to my hand so I could combo. And then again, Mass Saiyan for Shenron and self-awaken. Onto the meme cards, you got Yadrovi and 16, both with a revenge. If your opponent doesn't have any ways to pop certain cards, these cards don't have barriers, so that's the weakness of it, but it'll force your opponent to kind of think differently. There are a lot of times where I swung and killed a lot of threats on board, and yeah, it was pretty much just for like that troll aspect. Me and Puna were thinking the other day, we're just going to make a deck full of blockers. This is something annoying. And I'm sure a lot of you guys thought about it too, so I decided to have my part in it and just make it a really awkward deck. And it was fun. Then I ran 3 Ready to Strike Piccolo. This is probably a little excessive. Maybe I'd probably run like 1 or 2, but again, just like I mentioned in my last deck profile, if people don't have an answer to this, then they're going to have to discard 2 down to 6. And that could help down the road depending on what your opponent has. If your opponent doesn't have natural board removal, then they're screwed. At all costs Vegeta, I run 3 of them. It's one of your kill cards. just to kind of stall, block your revenge, and then, gain your life. Helps you self-awaken if you need to. Pops cards. I mean, it just, there's a reason why it's like $15, $20 right now. It just does a lot. Combo Killer Analyzer doesn't really do anything in this deck. I probably should have swapped it out for like something that costs a little bit less or a little more defense, or who knows. But Analyze is good in certain decks. Shenron, amazing card. Just being able to untap 2 energy, so you could play more stuff, or the ability to bring back 2 or less. Those are pretty much what I was doing. Just keep bringing back, Droby. Just have that constant defense. And then finisher cards like Super 17, can't negate, has double strike. Very powerful. I could pitch 2 cards, but I never really did that unless I had the upper hand. And then another spice was Beerus. Card that people don't really expect these days. Sometimes your opponent's tapped out, so it forces your opponent to kind of lose battle cards. But it's another like nice kill card, 25k double strike. But yeah, that's pretty much the basis of the deck. It was really just there to like troll. So if you guys want to see what other concoctions you guys could come up with, this is mainly because it wasn't a serious event, so to say. It was a playmat event with all of our friends. So I wanted to bring something fun, something that I was enjoying. So nothing too serious for the upcoming competitive regionals or ARG events. So this is something fun. If you guys want to try it out, please do. I'd love to hear how you guys mess with your buddies. This is exactly how I do it, and I talk shit to them all the time too. So if you're like me, you like to have fun, like to build different unique decks like you saw with Gotenks in this deck, give it a try and let me see what you guys come up with, and definitely share your thoughts down below. Appreciate you guys for supporting my channel. And look forward to other events coming up within the next couple months. Clash of Fates is releasing soon, and I will have videos of that, as well as deck profiles from my playgroup. So, in the meantime, you guys take care. I will see y'all next time. Peace out.